Greetings everyone, please don't forget to click that like and subscribe button. Durban, a city of beauty and chaos, is haunted by the rise of hitmen also known as Izinkabi, Sbonelo Madanon Shangase, allegedly one of its most feared hitmen. Linked to brutal assassinations, drive-by shootings and attacks on police, his trail of violence has left families shattered and communities in fear. From a father gunned down in Greyville to the ambush of officers in Kaito Manor, in this video, we'll delve into the shocking crimes linked to Sbonelo Shangase, uncovering the events that brought him to infamy and the ripple effects his actions have had on the lives of his victims and the communities of Durban. Brendan and Craig Thandoyen were brothers who ran a scrapyard business in Durban's Point area, a bustling hub of activity near the harbour. Known for their entrepreneurial spirit, the brothers were respected members of the community. On the corner of Pickering and Mazepa streets, their business property served as a familiar landmark. However, their lives were tragically cut short on the 12th of June 2021 in a horrific incident that left the community in shock. Shortly after midday, Brendan parked their VW Golf 7 outside the business premises. Seated in the front passenger seat was Craig, while Brendan's 17-year-old daughter, Bianca Africa, and Craig's 13-year-old son, Carol, were in the back. As the brothers engaged in conversation with a worker nearby, a car pulled up alongside them. Without warning, gunmen opened fire, unleashing a hail of bullets. Both Brendan and Craig were killed instantly. Bianca, a matric pupil at Northlands Girls High School, was critically injured and rushed to the hospital, where she succumbed to her injuries later that afternoon. Carol, who was shot in the leg, survived but bore the emotional scars of the attack. The community was left shaken by the ruthless nature of the crime. Eyewitnesses described scenes of chaos with panicked attempts to rescue the victims. A resident recalled the harrowing sight of Carol crying in the back seat, his face etched with trauma. Local business owners and residents spoke fondly of the Thandoyen family, mourning their loss and condemning the violence that claimed their lives. Police confirmed that the family was attacked by 3 assailants. While the motive for the killings remained unclear, law enforcement sources suggested it could have been drug-related. This devastating act of violence, carried out by hitman Sbonelo Shangase, left an indelible mark on the community, highlighting the dangers posed by escalating hitman for hire, turning KwaZulu-Natal into an Nkabi capital. The Phoenix Massacre refers to the harrowing events that unfolded during South Africa's July 2021 unrest, which erupted following the imprisonment of former President Jacob Zuma. The unrest, primarily in KwaZulu-Natal and Gauteng, saw widespread looting and violence, with Phoenix, a predominantly Indian community near Durban, becoming the epicenter of racial tensions. As chaos engulfed the region, armed community members in Phoenix established roadblocks, allegedly targeting black individuals traveling through the area. Over 36 people, mostly black South Africans, were killed, with many of the deaths marked by brutal violence, including beatings, stabbings, and shootings. The government strongly condemned the violence, with President Cyril Ramaphosa denouncing the acts as ethnic-based vigilantism. Multiple arrests followed, and some individuals faced charges for murder, attempted murder, and incitement to violence. Among those arrested were 2 brothers from Phoenix, Ned Govender and Dylan Govender, accused of murder and attempted murder. The brothers were initially charged with the murder of 19-year-old Mondli Majola from Amaoti, who was shot dead while walking from Zwelisha Road to Cornubia Mall. Majola had been with 3 others, including Kafalani Makovu, who were also assaulted during the incident. Makovu later became a key witness, prepared to testify against the Govender brothers. However, tragedy struck, as on January 2022, Makovu and 5 others were gunned down execution style in what police described as a suspected drug-related attack. The killings occurred in the Amaoti area, where 3 men, including Sbonelo Shangase, opened fire on a group of people behind a tuck shop. Police reported that the victims were consuming drugs, suggesting the attack might have been drug-related. Makovu had just started his matric year when his life was violently cut short. The Govender brothers were eventually acquitted of Mayola's murder, but were sentenced to 7 years in prison for assault. This marked as one of Sbonelo's reign of terror. Whether he was hired to target Makovu, it's not clear. On April 14, 2022, Shahid Model, a devoted father of 3, was driving through the bustling streets of Greyville when his life was tragically cut short in a brutal drive-by shooting. Gunshots shattered the afternoon calm as Model's vehicle was ambushed, allegedly by gunman Sbonelo Shangase. Startled and gravely wounded, Model lost control of his car. The vehicle swerved into oncoming traffic, narrowly avoiding other drivers, before slamming into the solid wall of a nearby church. The attack left Model's family reeling with grief and confusion. They believed the assassination was a heartbreaking case of mistaken identity. According to them, the true target was his neighbor, Zen Mine, who had narrowly escaped death just weeks earlier during a similar attempt on March 25, 2022.
Zen, you know what, this wasn't meant for my husband. And he said, you know what, you're right, I think it was meant for me.
Initially, he was apprehensive. He didn't want to believe that Shahid was a case of mistaken identity. And we told him, we said, listen here, let's go back to around the 25th of March when you had this understanding that there was a hit on you. So I said, okay, let's look at Shahid's life, for example. There was no threat on his life. There was a threat on your life. So it's most likely that it was a case of mistaken identity. That's what we were led to believe. Him, on the other hand, he was just not accepting that, you know, that it was a case of mistaken identity, and he pursued trying to find the truth behind it.
In the aftermath of Model's hit, Zen had taken it upon himself to investigate the attack, determined to uncover the truth and identify those behind the hit on his neighbor.
He reversed out here onto the road, and then from here he drove and he went through here. So this man got shot like here, then he ended up across the road. See there where that hole is there in the wall. He would have crossed that robo, he would have got shot maybe around here, because he would have got shot around here, because from here his car ended up across the road. So he went over the island and his car ended up inside here. This is where his car ended up. His passenger seat was there. His passenger seat was there, and he was there on that side.
On April 30th, 2022, just weeks later, tragedy struck again when Overport businessman Zen Mine was brutally gunned down. Mine had been attending a soccer match with his children at the Tills Crescent Sports Ground on Felix Dlamini Road. As he left the venue, 2 gunmen, allegedly including Sbonelo Shangase, ambushed him and opened fire, ending his life in a violent attack that shocked the community.
The CCTV footage captures the final seconds of his life. 2 shooters emerged from a VW Polo parked nearby and opened fire in Moidine's direction. A few seconds later, a third person, believed to be a spotter, joins the pair as they escape.
Four months after Moidine's murder, Risin Perumal was arrested and allegedly confessed to paying 200,000 rand for the hit. However, charges against Perumal were dropped by the National Prosecuting Authority because of a lack of evidence.
Listen, I'm not interrogating.
That's not
Listen, interrogation. You came here, we were trying to assist you.
It's not a nice thing. That's the same reason why I came into the office.
No, 100%. We appreciate it.
Because I wouldn't want something to happen in front of my children.
Yeah.
I'm saying, even if somebody's coming to pick me up or whatever the case may be,
Yeah.
it's not nice for that to happen in front of your children or your wife.
No.
Okay. So that is a wrong thing.
Yeah.
And after that, even when I found out what happened, I said that's not.
But you still pay them, man.
Okay, if I don't pay them, what's gonna happen? They're gonna hit me.
No, so it's easy. Okay, guys, I'm gonna bring the money now. So then you call the police. These are people that shot someone in Greyville Road.
Yeah, but how? I don't even know who the person is.
No.
Because I never see them.
Yeah, but you got the guys you were meeting with would obviously lead the police back to the shooters.
Yeah.
But at that time, I wasn't thinking about.
Then you don't want to disclose.
There's no.
Especially the money, when money was paid. Someone also came with the. You mean now you're keeping 200,000 rand in your house?
No, yeah, well, I had money. Yeah.
No, but we know the rest you borrowed. You don't want to say who.
Yeah.
No, I didn't borrow from.
Somebody gave you.
Yeah.
No one but 200.
Yeah.
Well, let me be honest with you. I had the money. There's no other person. It was me.
Yeah.
I paid the money. I had the money.
Yeah.
I gave the money.
Where was money kept?
I had the money in my house.
So your wife is aware that you had so much money in the house?
She doesn't know.
How long have you been married?
11 years.
On April 10th, 2024, the state provisionally withdrawn the case against Sbonelo, Talente and 2 others who were charged with the attempted murder of 3 police sergeants due to outstanding evidence deemed critical to the case. The accused, including Sbonelo Shangase and Talente Mkize, allegedly opened fire on the officers during an incident in May 2022. According to reports, the officers were conducting a patrol operation in Kato Manor when they noticed a suspicious vehicle without license plates. As they approached the car and instructed the occupants to open a window, the men allegedly began shooting. The officers returned fire, leaving one of the suspects wounded. The attacker's vehicle was later found abandoned in Newlands East. Of the 3 officers targeted, 2 escaped unharmed, but 1 was critically injured, suffering a gunshot wound to the chest that punctured his lung, requiring intensive care. Sbonelo and Talente are alleged to be notorious hitmen operating in Durban. They are also facing a separate trial in the Durban High Court, involving 28 charges, 15 of which are for murder. Sbonelo was apprehended in 2022 while attempting to flee KwaZulu-Natal, or possibly to commit another contract work. Police intercepted a bus heading to the Western Cape at the Marianne Hill Toll Plaza, where he was allegedly found with a rifle and 90 rounds of ammunition concealed in his luggage.